Hi, I'm Andrea, part of the PGG Wrightson technical team.
Hi, I'm Gordon Scott, Technical Field Representative for PGG Wrightson in West Otago. Andrea, we've got some beautiful 20% crude protein calf meal here. Farmer's been offered a really good deal on some 16% crude protein meal. What's your thoughts?
That's an excellent question, Gordy. Often farmers ask me that same question because 16% crude protein meal will always be cheaper than 20% crude protein meal. The reason is that protein is expensive. The reality is that these little babies, they need that protein. Their bodies are growing incredibly quickly. Not only does the animal need the protein, but also the rumen bugs need the protein. Some work done at Pukawa has found that calves fed on 20% crude protein were 4 kilos heavier at 6 weeks than paddock mates that were fed a 16% crude protein.
That's really interesting because on other farms I've seen calves reared purely on milk and they seem to do really well.
They do. Calves on milk do really well because number one, the first objective with feeding calves is to get them up and growing, and their bodies, their systems have been designed to digest the nutrients in milk really well. The trouble is that after we wean calves that have been on milk, just a milk-only diet, they don't always do so well because the milk goes straight into the true stomach. So we're not having an opportunity to develop that rumen and feed the rumen microbes, which we need for these calves once they go out on pasture to be able to effectively digest that pasture.
Wow, that's really interesting. So this farmer's just harvested some grain out of his paddock. They've got surplus grain that's not going to be able to fit in the silo. Could they feed this to these calves instead?
Often people forget that barley grain is only actually about 12 or 12.5% crude protein. So again, some of that work out of Pukawa found that calves fed on barley grain as compared to 20% crude protein starter, they were actually 12 kilos lighter.
Yeah, there you go. The last question I've got for you, Andrea, is we could buy palm kernel really cheap, and that's 16% crude protein. Could I not supplement that to my calves instead?
The other thing we need to be really careful about with palm kernel is that the digestibility of that protein is very poor. It can work in a dairy cow who's a full ruminant, but these little calves, they don't have the rumen microbes developed well enough yet to break down that fiber in palm kernel. So it's certainly not advocated for calves of any age.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
For more information, click the link below or
talk to your local technical field representative at PGG Wrightson.